All right, YouTubers. This video, I don't know. I'm over here looking for my seatbelt and I got it on already. How do I feel about this? I know I've already done a video on my thoughts on this whole Corona nonsense, but I don't know, man. Now they have a so-called Corona task force, so you have to really dig deep down and start questioning what exactly is this government doing, or what exactly is going on. Like, is there some kind of fucking alien pathogen out there that we don't know about? Are we dealing with cosmic rays because the ozone layer got worse? Is it bio warfare to where it will? I mean, obviously, I know it was purposely done, but is this something, or is it some kind of biological warfare to where, a foreign dictatorship, or people are attacking us biohazardly? Like, and why is it so important that you tell and you get the young involved in this? Why the young has to be involved in it? Why you're so keen on speaking about the young so much? The young, the younger, the younger, the young, and the younger. Hey, distance yourselves from people. Why you want people to be? I mean, think about it this way. If you think of martial law and being able to go in people's homes, think about it. If you isolate people to certain areas and you keep everybody away from everybody, some other people might not have the appropriate or the right timing to be able to go and help another individual and spread what's going on before it's too late. To where, isolated, being in isolation, you have isolated events and isolated tragedies happen, or murders or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, you have to sit back and look and think outside the box. Like, why are they so caught on having everybody stay away from each other? Why? I don't know. I just, I have my own thoughts on shit, man. I don't know. I need to go in this thrift shop real quick and speak to this dude. But yeah, man, I think he's right there. Let me ask him real quick. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. He's got supposedly he got some of those Messenger Chikogan robots, like I think the old vinyl Japanese robots he was telling me about yesterday, because he's got some sideshow. He got 2 sideshow dark crystal figures, still boxed, but the box is not in the best condition. But his wife's selling them for $75 each, and I think that's pretty reasonable, to be honest. I think that's reasonable. But anyway, getting back to this thing, so he just told me come by tomorrow. So if I come by tomorrow, hopefully this Neanderthal have this shit ready, or show me some stuff. But anyway, y'all, I don't know. I don't know. I got so much mixed shit going on in my head. I'm not a fucking genius. I'm not psychic. I'm not Superman or Batman. I don't have the world's greatest detective / computer. I don't have powers and all that shit. So I can't tell you what's going on, because I don't know. I just know some shit is popping off, and this may just be a hysteria trial. Hey, let's see how far this goes, and see how far we can push it with something this trivial. Maybe they're making it out to be bigger than what it is, to see how, I don't know. Come on, anytime during a war, anytime there's wartime and stuff, that's when precious metals like gold and silver goes up in price, when the Dow is down, when, the stocks are low and the stocks are terrible. it doesn't cost them anything because they're already rich. They already have what they have, and they control the equity and financial status and quos and all that other stuff anyway. So for them, it's nothing. And this is why I always urge people, yo, take as much money out the bank as possible, because if there's a crash or there's something that gets fucked up and you don't have money, and they're saying, oh, well, you know, banks are working with us, they're gonna have to fucking work with you. Not only are banks and you and everybody else is losing stocks and shit, but you know, what are you gonna do? You're gonna force people out their homes? Only way you're gonna force people out their homes is you guys gonna have to, you know, create mass genocide, which I think was going on now, because when you think about it, you have to, y'all out there have to ask yourself, how crazy is this? Because like, they already, like, this is serious. Like, you know, you got, and this is global. It's not just a US thing or an American thing. This is a global thing. Like, how do we know that this is not biological warfare to where it was personally done, maybe as a test run, or they wanted to like do it to a certain population and it backfired, like most things do, because let's face it, we're in a real world, not a scripted movie. So, you know, you don't never know what the fuck is going on. And now all of a sudden they went public straight from the White House. Now I seen a picture that somebody took. I don't remember if it was on Facebook or it was Facebook, not YouTube. Well, you seen a Hummer, excuse me, a Humvee. It was a military grade, it was an Army grade Humvee, and right on the rear left quarter panel, it said, I think it said either COVID-19 or coronavirus squad or some shit like that. Which is, I found that ironic, like, I mean, quarantine squad or some shit like that. Quarantine unit or something like that. Somebody was, and you could see that the person had, like, I think they had on like pink sleeves or something, pink or red sleeves, and you could tell they were taking a picture from their moving vehicle to that, you know, moving vehicle. And you know, I could see like a little bit of the person's reflection of like the hands and arm or sleeve area through you know, say through the right mirror, side mirror and whatnot. You know, and I'm like, that's interesting. Now all of a sudden this morning, I mean, I woke up to that, and no, actually it was last night I saw the picture. I don't know what the fuck this idiot over here doing. And now all of a sudden they have coronavirus task force, and now they're basically, look at this fucking asshole texting, dumbass. So, you know, now they're basically legitimizing their bullying and what they're allowed to do, because now they're gonna say, hey, we give each state to do whatever they deem fit. Listen, I control my fucking life, and I'll lose my life before I sit there and become sheep. Ain't nobody come knocking on my door talking about, hey, this is a task force. I'm gonna say, what the fuck y'all want? They be like, open the door or you're gonna be subject to whatever. I'm gonna say, then you know what? Then you might as well get your shit ready now, and I ain't just talking out my ass. Cause I don't give a fuck about no federal government or this, that, and the third. I don't care about none of that shit. I have control over me and mine. And when I say me and mine, I mean me and mine. And you know, I'm not gonna have nobody come in because they got a badge or because some faggot ass, cracker ass, fucking, you know, federal jujitsu motherfucker sitting there saying that, hey, you know, hey, we give them the right to do what the fuck they want. No. They've been doing that shit for fucking hundreds of years. They've been doing that shit through social media and everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, people, y'all all need to band up and fucking fight for yourself, because, yo, like, this shit is real, man. This shit is crazy and it's real. Is it scary? Hell yeah, it's scary. And but what's the really scary part about it is, like, you know, they just basically have a coronavirus task force. So what's to stop these people from implementing certain shit? And they talking about weeks. You know, they talking about like, you know, like logistics or systematically. They're talking, 2 weeks. That's like minimum, because like, why are you guys closing schools down? Like, what is going on? Like, they don't want mass hysteria And I've seen enough movies and know enough to know that the government will never let you know, even if there's a fucking comet or something headed for this earth. They don't want people to create panic. Maybe that's another reason why they figure, you know what, keep people in certain areas and try to keep everybody away from each other. So this way, by the time shit happens, because you know, when you think about it, when you have a small amount of groups of people say this and say that, it's just a whole bunch of people talking out their ass. But when you have people on a grand scale of being witnesses to shit, you cannot sit back and deny that everybody's got fucking issues. You know what I'm saying? So there's something really going on that they're not really talking about. And then they get this little short, little Jewish looking fucking Neanderthal who say big words to go up there and try to reassure the people. You know, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it. You know, when Obama black ass was in office, he was too dark with big ears and he had a black woman, not a white woman. He had a straight up ghetto sister from Chicago and some black ghetto looking beautiful daughters, and he was basically too black for the White House from the gate, and he was too black for office, and he went in there and proved to people that, hey, not all of us are fucking animals, and the same thing Caucasian parts can do, we can do. Because let's face it, a good 75 to 80% of Caucasians in this country alone still think that we count as half of, you know what I'm saying, as like a percentage of human and other. You know what I'm saying? And he got in office and proved that only thing he did a couple things that was kind of stupid, but he ain't do nowhere near anything close to Clinton or anybody. He went in there and really had no scandals when it came to office. This man visited prisons. I don't like the gay shit that he was helping with the promotion and all that shit, but in all fairness, he was as perfect as you can get as a fucking president. Regardless of what people say or what they think or how they think. He was as pure as you're gonna get as far as how he went about shit publicly. And you can't knock him for that. And now you guys wanted another cracker in office, and you got exactly you got exactly what you wanted. Y'all wanted, hey, we want a white, you know, that's why that's the reason why, that's where that whole thing came from, make America great again. That was their way of saying make America white again. They just didn't want to fucking verbalize that white word for America. Because when you think about it, when you think of most blacks who have smarts and shit, we don't really spell America as American. We count that shit as AMRIKKA. You know what I'm saying? That's how we basically, anybody with brains, that's how we spell America, with those 3 Ks. And if you don't know what those 3 Ks stand for, which is the oldest gang. And actually, so why is it that the Ku Klux Klan killed, mutilated, raped, robbed, dragged, burnt so many people of color throughout history, including Jews and whites who are for revolution and everybody deserving they just do. You know, but at the same time, there's no RICO law for them. There's no anti-this gang, and they can walk around. You know, Nietas, Latin Kings, Bloods, Crips, Disciples, Vice Lords, and so many other groups out there, well, not groups, so you guys know what I mean, gangs out there. They have RICO law, and they can get locked up just for certain colors and stuff. But at the same time, the Ku Klux Klan can run around screaming white power and wear the same uniforms that their ancestors wore and people before them wore, knowing that these people were involved in mass genocide. Because let's face it, when you kill more than 4 or 5 people, that is considered genocide. You know, because like you're killing a mass amount of people. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, and I'm gonna tell you why they can walk around doing that. They say, oh, freedom of speech, but Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? They say Blue Lives Matter too. Let me explain something to you. When you wear blue, you have the opportunity and the right to take that outfit off or uniform. That's a color. Black Lives Matter, you know, came about because blacks, you know, it's funny how in America, when black people push forward to liberate each other and just tell white folks how we're sick and tired of the bullshit, we're terrorists, they feel fucking threatened because they're afraid of the shit that they know they did to us. They're afraid of getting backlash and getting it back. That's what they're truly afraid of. Because this country is systematically accustomed to racism and the treatment of people of color or people that cocky Caucasian America consider to be beneath them. Because let's face it, that's exactly what the fuck it is. I'm just one of these real motherfuckers who don't mind putting it out there. Look how many people like why they hate Farrakhan so much. And this Jesse Jackson had to water down him and Reverend Al Sharpton had to water themselves down because Reverend, you know, they both feel the heat and the threat and how scared they are of Caucasian America, especially Sharpton when he spent all that time in Guantanamo Bay, and it ain't like he went on a hunger strike because he wanted to. That motherfucker got skinny because them niggas wasn't feeding his ass. So now he's on a whole different plateau because he's like, yo, these motherfucking whites, they not playing. So at the end of the day, you have to be that kind of person that, yo, if you rather die than go back. And it's like we're all destined to die anyway. So if I'm gonna die, I'll take as much motherfuckers with me as possible. I have people say, "Oh, you racist." And let me say something to you. How I feel about I have a certain anger issue toward white folks because they're blind and they don't see what the fuck is going on. They don't want to know. They don't need to know. And I hate when they sit there and say, "Oh, why we all can't get along?" And they always want to try to be in something. They always want to implement themselves in shit. So, you know, this and that, and oh, this and that. And don't get me wrong. I love everybody who love me. I don't give a fuck what race you are. I sit back, if a motherfucker black and they do something stupid, I'm like, look at this stupid jiggable motherfucker. Chink, spick, cracker, hunky, whatever. If you come at me a certain way and you happen to be the same race I am or another race, my point is to disrespect you. And that's why I say the shit I say. It don't make me racist. It just makes me aware and know what the fuck. I personally know that white folks have gained so much off the back of the black slave and the black man. The black man haven't really gone nowhere. We still haven't really gone nowhere on shit. Even if you have money like Beyonce and Jay-Z, you're still just another nigga. You could be rich, but you don't have wealth. There's a difference. You know, and this is the reason why you hear a lot of comedians and everybody always talking about, yo, they feel bad for white folks. There's no reason why anybody white in this country should be homeless and that because of the shit that their forefathers and their kinfolk before them, you know, basically paved the way for them to have what they have, which is true. Just like, for instance, a lot of whites and Jews dying with us. And of course, Malcolm X and Thurgood Marshall, the list goes on and on. Martin Luther King, people like this, they paved the way for us to vote and for me to have the little liberties that they give us now. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. So everybody paved the way for everybody else. Even though we all know who truly benefits from this, that, and the third. And you know what? Let's face it, you have more racism going on now openly than back, you know what I'm saying, than back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even early 2000s because of social media. Social media, all it does is show you right in your face how screwed up, racist, and nasty that this government and all this country truly is. You know, it shows you that because all the information is on your phone now. Now, going back to this, whatchamacallit, you know, they got schools that are closed down. You got projects, like when I say projects, they only, like, you have projects that are at halt, but they still have construction going on to where they still have construction building things for now. They, you know, like again, you know, New York, Connecticut, and Jersey now are implementing curfew, and now with this coronavirus task force, I think they're going to be I think the agencies are going to be allowing local law to implement whatever the fuck they deem fit to implement. Because let's face it, how many of us know the law and know the laws of your state, and police still lock you up and try to disrespect you and intimidate you into giving in? They do that shit to implement, you know, to try to get you to give in because, you know, they're scared and they want to scare you. Because let's face it, at the end of the day, they're here to scare you. You know what I'm saying? They're here to implement and do all this shit. They're not really here to love you or care about you or, you know, how many local law enforcement agents you guys know that are all about, hey, you know what I'm saying, it's all about you. It's not. It's all, you know, it's not. It truly isn't. It's not all about you. It's not, you know, it's all about what they say. You know, they sit there and try to come on your property and tell you what you can and can't do. But you can't go to their property or in their neighborhood or on their block without them coming outside, showing their shields and threatening you with arrest and this and that. but it's okay for them to come in your neighborhood where you pay taxes and pay for your property. That's just like somebody sitting there and telling you can't use your phone. Like, you know, that's the reason why even in courts, you know, the courts in the federal buildings, they tell you can't use your phones and you can't do this and you can't do that. And in this country, you're allowed to do whatever the fuck you want. But they stopped shit like this because, like, I just seen cops right now. They looked at my, you know, as I'm talking to you guys, they looked at toward my way, made a U-turn, and they're going back the same way they came down. Because this is what they do. You know, there's nothing else for these motherfuckers to do except do stupid shit. I want to see if this lady is cooking in here. I hope she is, but she might not be. Oh, okay, she is.
Los cleaning no son para limpiarse cuando come. Eso es cleaning. No tiene, págame ahorita. Ahorita, mejor dile que no lo paguen. Y ahorita tengo que pagar. Págalo ahorita otros igual, ¿verdad que soy jefe?
I was hoping she had some kind of pasta, but she doesn't. She got tilapia, some kind of meats.
Gracias a Dios que no se ha caído en esta bodega porque ya no hubiera piso aquí.
¿Tú no eres pilotero? Bueno, yo creo que sí.
Yo lo que me quillé porque iba a jugar ese número y me
All
dice
right.
que el chacho que salió el número.
Right.
Hay 56 todos.
¿Y pero para qué lotería? Ella jugara, como si ella jugara a la lotería.
Pero que no iba a jugar.
Anyway, gotta go, y'all. Peace.